Hey guys, Cloud here, and today I felt the need to make kind of a little video showing off a little bit of sneak peeks and stuff like that, but I'm not going to give too many details on everything related to this project. So if you couldn't tell in the background, there's some pretty cool ambient effects going on. And this is based off of the video I made 9 months ago about ambient effects, but instead now I'm using markers and the code is simplified so that it's a lot easier for me to add new sounds to. And with that, I actually did add new sounds. So this one has the same old sounds in the previous video. So when you walk around, you will hear different woodpeckers and birds coming from trees, as well as wind, rustling leaves, and other types of sounds coming from the ground. But at night, there is a whole nother set of sounds, and we'll get into that in a second. So some of the other things going on, if you see my action bar, that's just a debug thing for me. But essentially, in the action bar, P is my player's body temperature, A is the ambient temperature and where I am, and AC and AW are just some stats that relate to the rate of change of temperature. And those are kind of cool too. So let's go ahead and fast forward time and let you guys hear some of the night sounds. So there's some crickets, and some of the previous sounds will slowly have to fade out. But now there is some crickets and owls, as well as some other interesting sound effects that go on. So one thing to note is that there is this lighter. Yeah, so kind of the core item of this game is going to be a lighter. And the way the lighter works is when you hold it, it opens up and then has a random amount of time that it will take to ignite the flame. Okay, once the flame is ignited, you can actually light things on fire. So you can see that now it has can be placed on. So if I pop into adventure mode, if I pull it out, basically I'm able to right click once the thing has the flame come up. Okay, so now that we got the flame up, you can see that the ambient temperature definitely rose, and that's because I literally lit a campfire, and it will slowly kind of increase my temperature back. You'll notice some other effects going on, and that kind of has to do with my player's body temperature being too low to the point where I'm starting to get some confusion. So as my body temperature goes back up, that effect will slowly stop. I am sitting next to a fire, and it is 111 degrees. Obviously, I'm using Fahrenheit, but really the temperature scale does not matter. It's more about the differential values and what values you cross over. So it doesn't really matter whether you use Fahrenheit, Celsius, Kelvin. Who cares? It's a video game. So one thing that is kind of interesting about this temperature system, and also the lighter, is that if you wear clothes, it will make you heat up faster. So you'll see that AW really increased, and if I sit close to the fire, then you'll see my body temperature rising very quickly because the AW was increased. Okay, so then if I go into the water, also if I wear the clothes, my rate of decrease will be a lot lower. AC is kind of the rate of decrease. If I take some clothes off, the AC will rise until it's just the naked AC. So then if I go inside the water, you'll notice that my boots and pants get wet, but my chest and my helmet do not get wet. And when these are wet, you can see AC has risen significantly. If I take off the wet clothes, the AC will drop a little bit, but it'll still be high because I am waist deep in water. Then if I go chest deep in water, it will turn off the lighter. The lighter won't be able to light, and these will start to get wet. And I am getting really... So I'm basically dead in terms of my body temperature, but you can see AC is ridiculously high, and if you wear the wet clothes, it gets even higher. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So let me type reload so I get my body temperature back. There we go. Anyways, so that's how the temperature system works. Now, my entire clothes are all wet, and it makes my AC way worse than if I just didn't wear anything. If I didn't wear anything, the AC would be 100. If I wear a bunch of wet clothes, that's really bad. So let's go ahead and dry these clothes. So if I'm wearing the clothes and I'm near the fire, then you'll see that the wetness will go down. And since I'm by the fire, the AC doesn't take into account, just the AW takes into account, which is kind of realistic in the sense of if you're sitting by a fire, you're more going to be warming up than cooling down. So you can see that this wetness is going down, and eventually it'll be completely out, And when the wetness is completely out, then the clothes are considered dry and they give you the bonuses of being dry. I might change the wetness to the whether or not they're dry, more of a linear scale based on the wetness. So like the benefits the clothes give you is proportional to how wet they are. I might do that, or just like if it's less than a certain threshold that isn't 0, it'll give you benefits or start to give you benefits. So yeah, that's everything I've added so far. I just thought it was kind of cool. You can hear some of the different sounds. There are some very rare sounds, but we probably won't hear them unless I fly around. Where are the rare sounds? There you go. We're within range of one of the rare sounds. Ooh, spooky. And there's a bunch of variations of every kind of sound. The lighter has 3 variations for opening, 3 variations for closing. It has 3 variations for igniting. So there's a bunch of variations which help make the sounds less repetitive. But yeah, that's how it works. The mechanic where the lighter closes and opens is actually pretty interesting in the way that I implemented it. It makes coding the code a lot cleaner. Essentially, you parse the entire player's inventory to search for these items which need to be updated, and if they need to be updated, then you actually change it just from the inventory perspective, as opposed to doing something like having a score and checking like did they hold it previously and trying to find the item and change it. It's less explicit to what item it is. It's more implicit, which makes the code pretty clean. Anyways, just a little sneak peek, guys. In terms of Team C's, you can see my skin is quite blue. They're at about the halfway point, so I'm not full blue. And the Heroku bot is still running, which is cool. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.